Imagine arriving at the port, bags in hand, excitement in the air, only to hear you can't board. The ship sails away, leaving you frustrated and heartbroken. This is becoming a reality for more cruises in 2025. Stricter regulations and simple errors are causing thousands to be denied boarding, many issues being completely preventable. Today, we're highlighting the 11 most common reasons people face this unfortunate situation this year. Let's begin with those that even experienced cruises might overlook. Stay tuned, as missing one small detail could lead to a ruined trip. Reason 1: failing health protocols. This one catches many travelers off guard. In 2025, cruise lines have intensified health screenings like never before. It's no longer just about COVID-19. Many now demand proof of specific vaccinations, such as yellow fever for trips to South America or Africa. If you arrive with flu-like symptoms, a fever, or just appear visibly unwell, you could be turned away immediately. Here's where the trouble starts: pre-boarding health questionnaires. Miss one field, answer incorrectly, or forget to disclose a recent illness, and you're flagged. Some cruises face secondary screenings, while others are outright denied. Pro tip: review your cruise line's health requirements right after booking. Keep vaccination records accessible. Fill out health forms honestly. If you feel unwell before sailing, contact your cruise line right away. A little honesty can save your vacation. Reason 2: invalid travel documents or visas. This might seem obvious, but you'll be surprised how often travelers are turned away at check-in due to document issues. Imagine smiling at the counter when suddenly the agent's expression changes. They inform you that your documentation is not valid. Passport problems top the list here. Many countries require your passport to be valid for at least 6 months beyond your cruise's conclusion. Ignoring that expiration date could leave you in a bind. However, there's something even more surprising in 2025: visas. New regulations, such as the European ETA waiver, apply even for brief port stops on Caribbean or Asian routes. Depending on your nationality, special visas might be necessary. The shocking part is that cruise lines often do not notify you of these requirements, assuming you've done your research. Just last week, I witnessed a family in Miami miss their vacation because their child's passport photo didn't meet the standard, a rule hidden in the fine print. Pro tip: treat your travel documents with utmost care. Always check expiration dates. Research visa regulations for every port, and bring notarized letters for minors traveling without both parents. One missing document could ruin your entire journey. Reason 3: banned items in luggage. This mistake wrecks vacations daily. Packing an item that is prohibited is a common error. In 2025, the list of banned items is longer and more unexpected than ever. Everyone understands that weapons and drugs are no-goes, but what about that seemingly innocent power strip associated with charging devices? Many cruise lines have outright banned them due to fire risks. The CBD oil that's legal in your state could be seized, alongside certain over-the-counter medications found problematic depending on your ports of call. Alcohol restrictions also trip up many travelers. Most lines allow only 1 or 2 bottles of wine or might prohibit bringing any alcohol at all. Attempting to sneak extra beverages could result in watching your ship depart without you. Just last month, a couple in Fort Lauderdale had their luggage thoroughly checked due to a forgotten pocketknife. They just made their cruise, but only after missing a significant part of embarkation day dealing with security. Pro tip: before you close that suitcase, double-check your cruise line's prohibited items list. If in doubt, leave it behind. Don't risk your vacation over a $10 item. Reason 4: blacklisted for bad behavior. This is a tough reality for cruisers in 2025. Cruise lines are enforcing a zero-tolerance policy for difficult passengers. One misstep, and you could be blacklisted before even boarding the ship. The most significant red flag is arriving intoxicated. Security is trained to identify impaired passengers at check-in. If you're slurring your words or unsteady, boarding will be denied, no exceptions or refunds. But alcohol isn't the only concern. I've witnessed passengers blacklisted for yelling at check-in staff over minor issues, resisting security protocols, or just being disruptive. Nowadays, cruise lines prefer leaving you behind rather than taking a risk on potential onboard issues. For example, in Galveston last month, a group lost their $5,000 cruise because one member argued with a baggage handler. The group was denied boarding under the cruise line's policy on group responsibility. Pro tip: save the fun for when you're on board. Arrive sober, stay composed, and understand that your vacation starts the moment you enter the terminal. Respect the staff, they hold the power to send you home. Reason 5: unpaid balances or old debts. This one surprises many people since it seems impossible in our digital world. However, in 2025, outstanding balances are leading more cruises to be denied boarding. Picture this: you arrive at the terminal, documents ready, only to learn your reservation is on hold due to an outstanding balance from a prior cruise. You may have forgotten about a disputed charge or a final payment that didn't fully process. Here's what's new this year: cruise lines now use aggressive automated systems to flag financial irregularities. Even if your confirmation states you are paid in full, hidden fees like port taxes or outstanding cancellation penalties might arise unexpectedly. Just last week, a couple was denied boarding in Miami due to a $75 balance from a cruise 2 years prior, without any prior notification. They discovered the issue only at check-in. Pro tip: call your cruise line at least 72 hours before departure to confirm a zero balance on your account. Check for any old reservations tied to your name and keep payment receipts handy. A quick call can save your trip. Reason 6: late arrival. This is often the heartbreaker of all boarding denials. Arriving even slightly late can lead to disappointment. In 2025, cruise lines have become ruthless regarding boarding deadlines. That 90-minute pre-departure check-in cutoff isn't a suggestion, it's law. Port authorities need a complete passenger manifest ahead of departure, and cruise lines won't risk delays or fines for anyone. I've seen families racing through terminals, luggage in tow, only to watch their ship depart. New risks are emerging with fly cruise connections. Increased flight delays have more passengers missing their cruises, even with same-day booking. Airlines may get you there eventually, but cruise ships won't wait, even if your plane is on the ground close by. A tragic example from last month involved a group that missed their Alaskan cruise because their shuttle got stuck in traffic. They arrived just 17 minutes past the cutoff. The ship had already closed boarding, resulting in a lost trip worth $28,000. Pro tip: for the day of embarkation, plan like you're catching the last flight out during a snowstorm. Arrive the night before, book early morning flights, and aim to reach the terminal 3 hours in advance. Your vacation deserves the extra effort. Reason 7: pregnancy or infant age limits. A joyful life experience can quickly turn into heartbreak at the cruise terminal. In 2025, cruise lines have tightened pregnancy and infant age restrictions and are enforcing them strictly. Here's the hard rule: if you're 24 weeks or more pregnant at any time during the cruise, you will be denied boarding, period. Even if you're below that limit, many lines want a doctor's note confirming your due date and fitness to travel, dated within 2 to 4 weeks of your departure. For infants, the restrictions are even more stringent. Many cruise lines won't allow babies under 6 months, and for longer itineraries, that age limit extends to 12 months. I recently saw a distressed family turned away in Barcelona because their 5-month-old was just 2 weeks shy of the minimum age requirement. Pro tip: If you're pregnant or have young children, reach out to the cruise line's accessibility department before booking. Obtain all requirements in writing and keep several copies of medical documentation. These policies may seem harsh but are in place for everyone's safety. Reason 8. Sniffer dog detections. In 2025, highly trained sniffer dogs are now screening embarkation areas at significant ports globally. They're not just searching for drugs anymore, they can find everything from CBD products to certain prescription meds. Picture this: you're excited, waiting in line, when a dog suddenly positions itself next to your bag. Security rushes in, and before you know it, you're pulled aside for an inspection. Even if you possess nothing illegal, residual scents from previous trips or improperly packed medications can raise alarms. The most surprising fact is that many commonly prescribed medications legal in your home country may violate laws at your ports of call. For instance, a passenger in Miami was recently denied boarding because their pain medication included an ingredient banned in the Bahamas. Pro tip: always carry medications in their original labeled containers. Have copies of prescriptions and research medication regulations at every port of call. And that CBD cream for your back pain. It's best to leave it at home. Reason 9. Dress code violations. Think cruise attire rules apply only to dinner? Think again. In 2025, luxury cruise lines are strictly enforcing embarkation day dress codes. Passengers might be turned away for wearing unsuitable clothing. This isn't limited to formal nights. Several premium lines now require resort casual or smart casual attire just for boarding. If you show up in swimwear, flip-flops, or ripped jeans, scrambling to find acceptable clothes at portside shops might not be a feasible option before departure. The most outrageous case occurred when a group of influencers was denied boarding in Southampton last month for wearing outfits considered too revealing. Their $15,000 suite went unused because they refused to change. Pro tip: review your cruise line's embarkation day dress code as thoroughly as you would for formal nights. When unsure, business casual usually works. Keep in mind, your first impression begins at check-in, not when you reach your cabin. Before revealing the final 2 reasons for boarding denials in 2025, I kindly ask for your help. If you find this information valuable, and if these tips can assist in saving your future cruise vacation, please hit the like button below. It costs you nothing and helps the video reach more travelers who need this information. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing for daily cruise tips that help you travel smarter. Now, let's dive back into the last 2 reasons you absolutely must know. Reason 10. Pre-cruise behavior flags. Most passengers wouldn't suspect this one. Your actions before the cruise can get you blacklisted before reaching the port. In 2025, cruise lines observe how passengers engage with their staff well before embarkation day. Aggressive emails, threatening calls, or repetitive complaints can signal security concerns in your file. Customer service teams now document every unfriendly interaction, which follows you right to check-in. For example, a Fort Lauderdale passenger was denied boarding after months of aggressively harassing customer service agents over minor disputes. The cruise line labeled him as a potential risk based on his conduct. Pro tip: always communicate professionally, even when frustrated. Discuss disputes in post-cruise surveys rather than pre-cruise arguments. That temporary relief isn't worth losing your entire vacation over. Reason 11. Overlooked port-specific rules. This is the silent cruise killer of 2025. Local port regulations can override cruise line policies. While you're focusing on ship rules, ports around the world are enforcing strict boarding requirements that could leave you out in the cold. The tricky part is that these rules change frequently and differ dramatically by location. Some Caribbean ports now forbid specific sunscreen ingredients. Many Asian locations ban certain medications, and numerous European terminals have unexpected luggage restrictions differing from cruise policies. Recently, a family of 5 learned this the hard way in Greece when their legally packed drone was seized at check-in due to a local port ban they were unaware of. Their Mediterranean dream cruise came to a sudden halt. Pro tip: research each port on your itinerary individually. Check both cruise line policies and local government travel websites. When packing questionable items, ask yourself, is this worth jeopardizing a $10,000 vacation? Don't let yourself become another boarding denial statistic in 2025. These rules aren't designed to trick you. They aim to keep everyone safe. By preparing a bit more, you'll be sipping cocktails on deck instead of watching your ship sail without you. Now, imagine boarding confidently, knowing every box has been checked. That peace of mind is worth the extra time spent preparing. Curious for more? Check out our other videos for more essential cruise advice. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.